Up guys, and we got 1.21 today. So in this video I am going to be exploring the joys of 1.21 and building with 1.21 because I'm so excited. Okay, we're in birch biome. Kind of boring. There's no new biomes in this update though, so great. Okay, so in this update we got so many new blocks relating to tough and copper. This is the lineup. We got tough bricks, chiseled tough bricks, polished tough, chiseled copper, copper grate, copper trapdoor, and copper bulb. This is a cool redstone component, but it also looks really nice in building. So this is staying with me. This is really cool because you can waterlog copper grates and the water doesn't flow, giving you this cool like hidden blue effect. It allows you to get more color into your builds, which is nice. But this tuff is so useful. For example, if we had this deep slate block, then cobblestone and stone, there's no real good transitioner between these. But now since we have tuff, we can get a nice, clean, smooth transition all the way from deep slate and actually black stone all the way up into stone and even andesite, which allows for a lot better texturing on stone and rocky builds. For example, if you're trying to take a little ocean area down here and then transition that up to a larger, higher up moss area up here, you're going to need to build a wall here. Now, if we just have deep slate, cobble, and stone, it's going to be kind of hard because we have the nice, like black, weathered, almost looking deep slate down here that looks quite nice. But then when we're trying to transition up into cobblestone, it's just too ugly. Like, it just doesn't fit very well. However, now that we have tuff, you can slide it in there and get a much more beautiful looking transition between the blocks. Then if we slide a little bit of cobblestone up here, we can get really amazing looking cliffs that we never would have been able to make otherwise. Now that I've textured it up and added some blocks and made it look a little nicer, you can see how useful this tuff is in creating this beautiful rocky gradient. It allows this build to look way better than it could have, and just generally allows for a lot more terraforming possibilities. Like, this could be a mangrove biome, up here it could be like a plains-ish biome, and you can use this wall to kind of separate them and keep them apart from each other. And before, you couldn't have created a wall using this deep slate that looks like it's been weathered through by the water. You would have had to have your darkest color be cobblestone. Also, when you're building any large, non-organic build, like a structure, some evil dark castle tower thingy, having this transition between this deep slate and the cobblestone up here allows you to go into a much darker palette while also still being able to have highlights up at the top, without it seeming too drastic or exaggerated. Next up for our list of 1.21 blocks is copper. Now, back in 1.20 we had normal blocks of copper and cut blocks of copper, but now we have this chiseled copper, these see-through wax grates, which is really nice, copper trapdoors, finally, and then this copper bulb, which is actually really nice because if you power a copper trapdoor, or a copper bulb, sorry, it stays on. So that allows you to have this interesting copper light in your builds, so that if you're building with steampunk, you can still have these really nice lights without it not fitting the vibe, or without it having to be powered all the time. Also, since this is copper, it comes in 4 different colors, which is super useful for building. You can make a whole gradient with your copper. You can make other areas more aged, more oxidized than other areas. so that you can show like which areas are being used often. And you can just build with a lot more color, which is amazing. For example, if you're building in a steampunk style, you can use these grates and these copper trap doors to add a little more like shaping to your build. Previously, you could only build with stairs and slabs, but now with trap doors, your shaping becomes a lot easier between the different parts of the gear. Also, the grates allow you to see through different parts of the gear, which can help like make clear what different things are doing. It also allows you to create a full grate window, which is quite nice. And it allows you to make like actual see-through windows in a steampunk style without having to variate too much from your color palette. Also, if you're building with grates, you can create these super cool like tunnels, these super cool pipes you can even place on the outside of your build. So like here I built a simple outline of a medieval house, and then just by adding this copper pipe in it, it can look a little more cyberpunky. It can also allow you to transition from a more medieval style to a more cyberpunk style, using some pipes connecting the buildings. And using all these copper blocks that we have now, you can create little contraptions that do, I don't know, but they do something, and it looks cool, and it can fit in any steampunk like style, and it can help add a little bit more life to your world. Also, if you want to add even more life, you can have these bulbs turning on and off, which you couldn't do before using copper. You'd have to use redstone lamps, which look way uglier than these. So this is a bonus for 1.21. Also, we have this new vault block, which I don't know yet if you can obtain it in survival, but it looks super cool in creative mode, and placing it right there looks so good. It can be like a little face. Like, we already had faces with these chiseled blackstone blocks, but these look even more humanoid, and it just fits any like dark castle theming that you would need. Also, this orange bit looks kind of like copper, which means you can start using copper highlights in any of these blackstone builds. That would look really, really cool. Also, the face opening as you get near it just adds to the ominous feeling when you're in it. Also, now in 1.21, you can lead boats, meaning you can drag a boat around. Now in creative mode, this isn't very useful, but if you're in survival mode and you want to get a boat up there when it's down here, you can just walk up here, get your boat onto the building, unlead it, and then you can hop in it and reposition it however you want, as long as you don't fall off. But that allows you to put boats in your builds, which can be cool. I don't think it quite fits this build, but it definitely can look cool for if you have a roof, just to add a little bit more texture to it. Also, now we have these really cool bogged mobs. They look really good in any like mycelium or swamp biome, and I think if you put them in a boat or a minecart, or just put them on a lead somewhere, it could look really nice to keep them in the biome. To just like add a little bit more life, because sometimes Minecraft can feel a little dead. So then we got new bogs, super cool. Also, you can shear the bog for mushrooms, which is really cool if you're in swamp biomes, because now you can get mushrooms through a mushroom farm, like a actual swamp biome bogged farm that gives you mushrooms, and I just think that's super cool. But anyways, I think that's about all there is to cover with the 1.21 new blocks. So, see you next video. I might cover some other features. Also might do some tutorials on little like mini biomes like this, because these look so nice, and just having like multiple different little mini biomes with tutorials on how to build them would be really cool. So, till then, bye.